Where has this voice been? Why didn't we hear this voice in the time you were a member of the National Executive Committee of the ANC?
I've never changed my language. Consistently, when I was Premier of the province of Mpumalanga, I talked and I fought against corruption. When I was in the party, I always talked and I fought against corruption. But I was not in government. But we urged those our colleagues in government to fight corruption all the time. We believe very simple logic. It is not ANC policy for anyone to steal the public money. It is not ANC policy for anyone to abuse public office for their benefit or the benefit of their friends or their families. It's not our policy, so we'll stand against that.
Now you're asking the ANC not to dilly-dally, to make sure that the National Development Plan is implemented because it was approved, after all, in Mangaung.
I don't think the government is dilly-dallying in the first instance. The Mangaung conference endorsed the National Development Plan. Therefore, it's an ANC decision. It's an ANC document. And therefore, we must implement that decision of the ANC without trying to find fanciful ways of avoiding some of the issues arising there. We listen to the voices which are contrary on some issues. But that does not mean we must deviate from our policy, which we have agreed upon. Because if we do that, we create policy instability, and it's a problem.
But why do you think there's confusion among some of your comrades about whether or not it is or isn't ANC policy?
I'm saying the ANC was at Mangaung in its fullest strength with the branches. COSATU was there, and other organizations were there. We didn't hear their voices contrary to that plan when it was being endorsed. So we took a decision. It's an ANC decision, and therefore we must implement it. We're not going to start counting black and brown beans. We must not shut our ears to voices which say certain things, but we must not just change policy midway.
Now, in the midst of all this confusion, with some of your COSATU comrades reading something else that you are saying is not, I mean, this is a run-up to an election. You're going to send confusing signals to the electorate out there.
The ANC will evolve its own manifesto for the elections, and we must wait for that. And I think it will speak clear on all the issues which were decided in Mangaung. And I don't think that the ANC in the manifesto will try and change conference decisions. So you wait. We must guard against policy instability, because it's not good for the image of the country. We must implement the decisions we have taken, because it's good for the country.
Now, let me ask you about something that's in the public domain. The Gauteng ANC has asked former President Thabo Mbeki to form part of its election machinery, going out there and canvassing for the party. What is your view on that issue?
You know, I've been long in the ANC. Deployment for such things is handled centrally by the Secretary General and sometimes by the leader, the collective which is running the campaign. Because they will identify where the weaknesses are and which comrade could be used where. And I don't think we should go and murder the Gauteng comrade for expressing a view, but I think that we should all respect the collective at the top, which has got the prerogative to decide where each one of us must be deployed. It's how it is, it's how it's been done.
Post Mangaung, a lot of you who were not re-elected kind of fell by the wayside. Is this the case with you? Was there also suggestions that some of you have been sidelined? What is the case in your situation?
My position is very simple. We only have one home as genuine members of the ANC, and that home is African National Congress. When you have a conference and it elects the leadership, you must respect the voice of conference and support that leadership. Anything to the contrary, or any manga around that is very unconstitutional and very un-ANC, and I would not entertain that. Leaders who are not elected in the conference must learn to shift and allow those who are elected to lead and support them, and not stand up out and blow whistles unnecessarily. They should support them and comment positive or negative where it's justified.